What's up, y'all? Welcome to the fourth episode of the Football Sticker Story podcast. I am Brian, and this is Matt. Matt, what's up, man?
Yo, it's been a minute again. We're lacking on the schedule here. We're not built for this yet.
Man, it takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot
It
of keeping
does.
up with a lot of stuff because we're talking games, we're talking cards, we're talking market, we're talking history. What aren't we
Yep.
talking about, Matt?
It's we're always learning, man. We're always learning for the next episode.
We are, and I think we're juggling our own lives and work and everything else.
Yep.
But this is a nice outlet, man. I look forward to every time we sit down to record.
Exactly, man. No, it's when you're working all day, it's so nice to have something where you actually like want to go do it and like the effort feels a million times better.
Yeah, man. So, what do we got for people today? Run us through our mini schedule.
Give a
We
little
have a shorter
schedule.
podcast. We have a shorter podcast.
This one's gonna actually be shorter. We literally keep saying it. We never follow it. This one's gonna be shorter. Um, Here's a little breakdown of what's coming. First we're gonna talk kind of just what's going on in soccer in general, and then we're gonna go to some giveaway details. So definitely stay on for that part. Then we're gonna have one question that we received from a viewer. After that, it's going to be a very interesting topic. A lot of people always ask about, which is like how to buy things internationally.
They
Um,
called you the Brazilian Whisperer, Matt. Is that a new thing? Is that what we're gonna put on the videos now?
Listen,
Brian and the Brazilian Whisperer.
I'm not going to deny it, but it was flattering to get that compliment. But people always want to know how to buy internationally, and so it's perfect timing for me to talk about some tips, some stories, some stuff like that. So I know that's always been like a question I get all the time. So that'll be good to talk about. Then something we're really excited for, which is we're going to show both of our top five cards in our collections, not necessarily by value, but more about like why we like them and why they're important to us. Maybe any stories on how we got them or why we got them. And then lastly, we'll just finish it off with like just some PWCC interesting auctions that are about to finish, and we'll just have our final comments after that. So let's head right in. It's back to some club soccer matches. So the international break is done.
Yeah, it was a crazy one. I mean, we had Spain. Nobody. Well, I won't say nobody, but I think most people didn't give Spain a chance when they put out that lineup that they did,
Mhm.
and then they went on to beat Germany 6-0.
Yeah,
How'd that happen?
I saw a meme and you responded to the meme I posted, but it was like the Brazilian flag, like shaking hands with the Germany flag. Like now you understand the beating we took. So
Right.
no, that was crazy. Torres had an amazing game. He's a really good looking youngster for Man City. So that was I thought Germany was going to win. Like I did not give Spain any credit there.
Well, it's funny if our listeners follow some of the Spanish media. I follow some Spanish streamers. It was funny because there's a streamer called DJ Mario who does a lot of FIFA stuff, and he started retweeting all of the people that had posted the lineup on Twitter and were talking crap like, oh,
Uh,
Spain is like. So they started retweeting it, and it was hilarious because, like I said, nobody gave Spain a chance. So
mhm.
when they went on to beat and dominate the game, it was crazy.
It was. I was one of those people, so I'll take the L on that one. But it was good highlights, and it was a good game. So it makes me excited to see Spain, and maybe they have a good future ahead of them. They obviously had the glory years, for 2010 and 2012. So I mean, and that team was awesome. David Villa and Xavi and Iniesta. So it'll be nice to see Spain still doing well because it's like they're a very famous international team. So yeah, and then there's a bunch of other random stuff like Aubameyang. They like he was back home
Stuck
for
at the airport,
Gabon,
right?
stuck at the airport like sleeping on the ground, and Arsenal's pissed off because like we're paying this guy like a 350 pounds a week, and this guy's sleeping on the fucking tile floor. Like he's gonna get injured. He's literally playing the next day. So that was crazy. And yeah, I mean, the USA was interesting. Like
Panama,
Pa-
right?
yeah,
They played
Panama's one of the
Panama.
better teams from our area of the world. So it was exciting, and that was out without Pulisic. So the first game wasn't, it was their first game together. So like I want to give them some credit, like Reina and all them, like first game all playing together and all that. So, but it was exciting. Like I haven't seen the USA score that many goals in a while. So
Yeah, and I think it was good to see him without Pulisic because the way, unfortunately, it seems like injuries have plagued them. So
I know.
we might need to get used to him not being in the lineup again.
No, that's a good point. I mean, it's crazy. It really is crazy. And let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's some good upcoming games this week
Yep.
too. Some club
Yep.
matches. We just
We're
talked about.
Yeah,
Sorry.
before the podcast, we were talking about. I think it seems like a lackluster CL lineup coming up with some of the teams playing, some of the bigger teams playing. You won't get your Juve Barca this week,
Hmm.
but we are going to see Inter and Real Madrid, who seem to be. We started laughing because we said it seems like they're trying to see who plays the worst in a relatively easy group stage for
Yeah,
the teams they have, the squads they have. What's been going on?
it's wild. I mean, you always think of Real Madrid as obviously one of the biggest clubs in the world. So to watch them struggle, and they're not like doomed, but they're not in a spot you'd want to be in this far into the Champions League. So yeah, I really hope they can pull some stuff together, and maybe some of their youngsters, Rodrigo or something, can pull some more magic out for the Champions League. But
And personally, I think I'm interested in Inter because on paper they seem to have a relatively, I mean, not the best squad, but a decent squad. And you have Lukaku, you have
mhm,
Lautaro up
yep,
front, but for some reason they haven't found the same magic up front that they did last year. And
yeah,
I like Lautaro a lot, so I always hope for the best, but they don't seem to perform when they need to, which is
yep,
crazy. Especially Conte's last, he got extended. I believe this is his last now
mhm,
season on the contract,
yep.
and they're not really showing anything.
I know. Italy, Italy since like the mid 2000s, honestly, obviously not irrelevant, but definitely fallen off compared to where they were. AC Milan dominated Champions League for a lot of the 2000s, and now it's Juve wins the Italian championship, and then Italy will have a few more teams obviously in the Champions League. They'll kind of like fizzle out. Atalanta did pretty well last year, but yeah, Italy's been. I hope they can bring back some of those amazing years that they had, where they had Zlatan. Oh, I guess Zlatan is back, even though he's like 40 years old,
But
but
he's doing a good job, man.
he is, yeah, he literally is aging like wine, like just getting better. But you had Kaká and all these other super famous players. Ronaldinho did play for AC Milan as well, but a lot of amazing players, uh, you know, played for those squads, and that was the goal back in the day, to play for squads like that. Ronaldo too played for Inter. Um, so yeah, Italy's been very lackluster, the last like 5 years. So I don't know. Hope we can see some improvements there.
And who's Arsenal playing the Europa? Are they playing the Europa this
They
weekend?
are. They are Thursday night. I don't
Okay.
even know who they're playing. It's probably some team's name I can't pronounce. But Arsenal is playing Leeds United on Sunday. I really respect Leeds. I like their coach a lot.
Mhm.
Um, so if I'll gladly take any win we can get, but I'm not confident in the slightest, which is sad. But there's a great other Premier League game. We have
Hold on, but
Tottenham.
before we move on, we got to talk a little bit about Arsenal.
Uh
I
oh.
feel like, from an outsider's perspective, I have nothing for, nothing against, but I do like Mikel, and I thought he
Yeah.
was doing a good job coming in. It's been kind of, I mean, there was results at the beginning, then there wasn't, now there was, now there isn't. What's been going on? What do you attribute this roller coaster of success and failure to?
That's hard. I mean, I still think he needs a full season. He came in after Ebery, who didn't have the best time ever. And I think he needs time to build his own squad. And he had a summer that was COVID, like so you don't have like a normal. training and all that. And he's had some like the Manchester United win away was a huge thing for Arsenal considering they suffer against top six teams, especially away. So that's exciting. Like I think there's been a lot of excitement, and I think there are a lot of young players too that he's going to transform into better players. Like I hope Saliba eventually, gets to start in the Premier League. But it's ironic. Like this year, our defense is pretty good, and we can't score goals this year. And like last year, it was like the exact opposite. Like our defense was like, here's 4 goals a game, and then like Aubameyang was also scoring like 2 goals a game. So we had a great scoring record. We just let too many goals. And this year we have the exact opposite. We're like, we're gonna lose 1-0, which sucks because like Aubameyang just signed this big contract. So I don't know. It's I don't know. Like I wish I knew the answer, but there are some big rumors about some big signings for this January window, so should be pretty exciting.
Now, the fact that the defense is playing well, does that mean David Luiz is playing well?
No, he's been out. He was injured, so
So, so the
no,
defense is good because he's not there.
well, kind of. Gabriel has been phenomenal. He was probably the best pickup in a long time for Arsenal. He's been playing super confident, straight out of France. Um, Tierney on the left is like Tierney's like just the most class player. Like he just puts in effort all the time. Amazing crosses, super like unselfish. He's like the workhorse that doesn't really get all the credit he probably deserves. And then Bellerin on the right has also been had like a phenomenal season as well, in my opinion. I think he, like Cedric kind of came in as his backup, and he was like, "Oh, like I need to get my shit together, and like I'm gonna lose my spot if I don't like get it together and start playing well." So yeah,
All right, now we can move towards the Tottenham and the City game.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Tottenham. I hate saying this, but Tottenham
Oh,
looks good. Like they
uh,
do look good. Like I am not a fan of Kane. I'm not a fan of Son, but I can't deny that they're playing well. Like
how can you not be a fan of Son, man?
Son is a diver. He's a crybaby. The English media loves him for no reason. That's 3 off the top of my head very
Wow, that's a
quickly.
hot take.
Listen, go watch some games from last year. Socrates calls him out, gives him a little diving signal. But
Socrates.
yeah, he plays. I don't even know what Socrates is up to now. I thought he would be gone this year, but
I like Son and I like Kane. I feel like they're playing with the chip on their shoulder.
I mean, I don't know. I'll give credit to Kane for staying, but I could see him going to like a Real Madrid sometime soon.
He's kind of old though.
I mean, you get like 1 or 2 more solid years of him, and I don't know.
Interesting.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But I think yeah, he's dedicated pretty much his whole career to Tottenham. So
And does that mean Mourinho is having his effect on this team?
I don't know. It needs more time. It needs more time.
Okay.
But Mourinho does have these ridiculous seasons out of nowhere. So
So on the other hand, City on the last podcast it was funny because we both thought Gabriel Jesus was injured, but he actually scored while we were talking
yeah, he
again.
literally scored like while we were recording. We're both like, "Oh my god!" Like we probably sound like idiots right now. But I don't know, Man City. For me, they haven't been convincing. Have they been convincing for you?
Yes and no. I think Aguero came back, then he got hurt again. Um, I think he's enjoying streaming in his
Yeah.
downtime.
Oh, good.
Uh, but I don't know. I think for the potential they have, they might not be playing as well as they could. But Pep just signed an extension, so he's at City until 2023,
I
and we
did see
know
that.
we know funds aren't an issue. So let's see how he spends.
AKA Messi.
Maybe that'd be interesting. I don't know if he didn't leave last year if he's gonna want to leave now, but um, maybe. But I did. We made a prediction on the Champions League, and I said City were gonna win. So I hope that they get Aguero back, that they start scoring some goals, some
Yep.
convincing goals, and they start putting together a season. But talking about the Premier League, I mean, it's the gates are wide open in the Premier League. Nobody's dominating the way Liverpool did last year,
Yeah.
and I think that a lot of teams are putting in the work, and we might have a surprise in the Premier League, especially
And
with
I love those
Liverpool.
seasons.
Yeah,
I
and
love those seasons. Like when
yeah,
Leicester won, like it was like I think that was what 2016. You know, Leicester had like a 5,000 to one shot. And, like they have this like raggedy tag group of guys that like aren't at the time that famous. Conte was on the team. Uh, Mares, obviously Vardy, and then they turn into this like massive team that wins the Premier League. And it was like I can't hate that. Like obviously I want Arsenal to win, but like how can you not love that? Like those are the seasons I personally love is when you don't know. Like it's not like oh Liverpool's up 25 points. Like this week's gonna be awesome. No, like I love the one where it's like match day 36 or whatever 38. It's like the decision is made that day.
right. And what non big team would you like to be in the top four and maybe win the PL?
That's a tough question. Um, I like Wolves. Uh, they're not huge, but they're bigger than like a Leeds. Like I said, I really like Leeds, so I think it would be interesting to see them.
Well, that'd be a Cinderella
Obviously, that would
story.
be a Cinderella story, and they just came out of the championship, so the chances of that are like absolutely ridiculous. But what I would like to see is them do it. Will they? Probably no.
I'd like to see Everton be in the top four. And as a Liverpool
They've looked
fan, I
good.
mean, it's tough to say, but I think that they have a good player that I like. I like Richarlison. I think
Hmm.
Hamas is doing great on his comeback, and
Hmm.
Calvert Lewin
Yep.
is doing well. So it'd be interesting to see them be in the top four. And I want Liverpool obviously to be in that top four, but they have like 12 injuries. All their center backs are gone except
Yeah, the Joe Gomez injury was rough.
yeah, and
Ben
then
White,
Rice
obviously.
Williams too.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like we've lost our back four complete except for, Trent and Robertson, but we don't have center backs. We
yeah.
so,
And I mean, that's a huge part of your defense right there.
right. So
So,
it'll be
yeah,
interesting to see how they how Klopp does in this comeback story, but
for sure.
it'll be tough. It'll be
All right.
tough.
I think it's time to move on to the giveaway because I know people are probably like, what's going to be given away?
Do we
So,
want to do the giveaway, or do we want to add suspense by answering this question real quick?
all right, well, we'll add a little suspension.
All
We'll add
right.
a little suspension. So you can ask the question.
All right. So Nils 10, who's active on the Discord,
Yep.
um, has a question, and that is, what do you think of non-rookie second, third, fourth year cards of Ronaldo at Barca and Inter, Ronaldinho or
Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho at Barca, Kaká at Milan, and he says that he finds that the 1996, 2004, 5 era to be hard to find good condition cards.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love picking up second years. I'm currently looking for Romario second year, which is a little earlier than that time period. But about 3 days ago, I picked up two Ronaldinho stickers from his PSG days in 2002. So yeah, I think they're great investments as well as collectibles at the same time because one, they're a lot cheaper. I picked up two Ronaldinhos in great condition for like $80 total, so 40 each. And his rookie sticker is like easily a grand minimum, raw probably, like not many sell. Um, so I think they're great investments. They're super low pop, so it's easy. It's one of those. I always say just grade vintage. Like by vintage, anything 2000 or before, just get it graded. Like it's easy money if you're looking to sell, but if you want to collect, it's also nice to have it graded. But yeah, like in the last PWCC auction, I picked up a Kaká 2003 Milan sticker, like because like it's not super rare, but like there's not many out there, and in good condition, there's definitely not many. I think and one, there's also just cool cards. Like I have this. I just realized I have like Jesus, I'm banging all over the place. Like I have this Ronaldo 2004 card. Like there's some really cool designs. Like it's not always about getting the rookie. At least in my opinion. Like obviously, I do collect a lot of the rookie cards, but at the same time, I do love to just pick up stuff that's cheaper and like looks nice because there's a lot of Rivaldo cards um, from his time at Barcelona that I like. Ronaldo at Barcelona and Inter, Kaká at Milan. I think there's a lot of nice ones. So yeah, no, 100%. Like I think it's a great thing for both investing and collecting.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right. That was a good, what, 2, 3 minutes of suspense?
Yeah. So okay, we're gonna have a little giveaway. So I'm gonna give the rules first before I show what it is. Uh, the rules are we're looking to get 100 subscribers on YouTube. So subscribe to the YouTube channel and just comment literally anything. You can say you hate us, you can say you love us, you can critique what we do, but the winner will be chosen by comment once 100 subscribers are reached. So,
And I will add something to that. Well,
yeah,
I'm not looking for, well, obviously we are looking for follows on Instagram, but if you can share just either Matt or our or mine, and we put the Instagrams at the beginning, just share the podcast. We don't I personally don't necessarily mind if you follow my account. I just really want to get the content out there and hopefully help collectors and with information. So if you can share either Matt or mine, I have a podcast post, so you can share that and
yep,
just give us a shout out, give us a listen,
yep,
and I'd appreciate that. I don't know how we can kind of play that into it, but I would just personally appreciate if you shared our content through Instagram as
yeah,
well.
yeah. So the giveaway is, so Romario's rookie is uh 1987 Copa União, and as of now, it's a Pop Four at PSA, and so I have a copy. Not the best condition. I want to point that out before someone like gets it and is like, "Why am I? Why did you beat this card up?" This is a very rare card. Like I said, there's only four at PSA, and I think raw and good condition is easily like $300 to $400, and this is free. Just by subscribing and listening and commenting. So if you've always wanted a Romario True Rookie sticker, this is the time. And I'm gonna ship it. If it's in the USA, I'll ship it. Bubble mailer. If it's out of the USA, it'll go in. Let's see, I have something right here.
Hey Matt, can I also enter?
No, you're banned. You're not allowed in.
I'm interested in the sticker though.
It is. I love the sticker. I'm gonna hold it, but I'll ship it abroad in like a very thick thing, but it's not going to be tracked because I'm not about to pay like $80 to ship something. So, but it'll get to you, and it's already in a beat up condition. So, it's still like I said, it's still a super rare sticker, and it's one of the first ones I ever picked up for my Brazilian collection. I have the PSA 4, in the pop. So, like I said, here's a giveaway, and there might be more in the future. So definitely stay tuned
Well, alternate between vintage and some more modern stuff,
for
because
sure.
that's just the dynamic of the show.
100%. So, all right. So that was the giveaway. I hope you're subscribing right now and commenting. But in the meantime, let's move over to the hot topic of like how to buy stuff internationally.
Yeah, that was a perfect transition because I'm sure that's where you got that Romario sticker from.
It is straight from Brazil. Straight from Brazil. So,
So how do you do it, Matt, aka Brazilian Whisperer?
obviously I can't go into extreme details, but I just want to give people, like a few
Just to
tips that are
clarify, it's all legal the way he does it, because that
yes,
sounded kind of shady.
the amount of packages that now get searched by like customs and border patrol, like they think I'm definitely moving like a lot of drugs across the border. I'm like, nope, I'm just that weirdo who's buying soccer stickers. Like, just leave me alone. So, but so I just want to give some tips that like I think make things easier and maybe some stories as well. So one of the biggest tips, and this is an eBay tip, and I think this is the biggest one that people always mess up on, is when you go to search. So, like, say you search for like a you just search for Romario, and you go to like newly listed. You're gonna see stuff, but what you're not gonna see unless you change it is you're not gonna see any listings that aren't from the USA. So it's super important to switch your search to worldwide, and you're gonna find like a lot of things you've never seen or like would never have seen if you didn't switch. I do this every day. Like I search like certain player names every single day to see what got listed. And if I forget to put worldwide, I might miss like a very cool sticker that's not horribly priced. So that's literally my biggest tip, and it's such a minor thing, but most people don't even know to do it. But yeah, turn on worldwide search when you're on eBay. It's on the left side. It's like four scrolls down right before you click on sold listings. So, do you ever use that one, or am I teaching you now?
No, I did. That's actually how I don't have it with me right now, but that Garrincha 1962
Yep.
Edu, I found it from a seller in Spain, and I found it by using that feature. And I
Yeah.
remember somebody commenting and people getting upset because it was like, well, not really upset, but like, dang, there goes one of my secrets. But but no,
Yeah.
I think and sometimes and the way I found that out was I just started typing on Google directly, like Ricky Pele, and the Italy website would come
Hmm.
up, or you search like Calcio Campioni, and the Italy eBay would pop up. I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense. This has to be on the English or the American version as well, and that's how I discovered that little worldwide button. But it does open another world of stickers and cards. Now it's riskier because it's coming from abroad, but honestly, with the way some of domestic mail has been working, I don't know what is riskier and what it's not.
Exactly. I've never had a package from Brazil not get here, and I have things shipped with essentially no tracking, thousands of dollars of shit, and I've never once not had a package arrive. And that kind of was my next point, which is like you have to be willing to take risks on a lot of stuff. I see a lot of people who are like complaining that they buy from some random guy in France, and like the sticker gets to them, and it's not like a PSA 10 condition. And I try to tell people like not every person who is selling is like a sports card investor. Like where like they're like, ooh, what is PSA going to grade this? Like a lot of these people just collected for a long time, and they're just getting rid of stickers because they became valuable, and they no longer like care as much as they can get for them. So
Or the
you,
supplies like the top loaders aren't readily available.
yeah, I've never had a card from Brazil show up in a top loader or a sleeve. Like it'll come in some plastic wrapping, but it's definitely not like a normal sleeve, penny sleeve. And that's why people sometimes get angry with like some of the stuff I post because they're like, "You have 7 Ronaldinho rookies. That's unfair. You don't sell any." And it's like, okay, you can feel however you want. I don't, I can't control that, but like, I'm the one who's taking a lot of risk by sending money with no PayPal goods and services. Like, I'm sending directly to a bank account where the person could literally like delete my number and never talk to me again. I don't know the condition, so like, I have two Ronaldinho PSA threes, and so like I had to take that risk, and like like I said, no one in Brazil is gonna have a PSA 10 for anything that's not like brand new. Like
Right.
it's just not gonna happen.
And it's
Um,
not, and I wouldn't say it's, I think it's just not the custom, like they're not used to it. And
no, of
because there
course.
isn't that collector mindset or culture more so is why they don't have those things. Not because they just don't care. It's rather because it doesn't necessarily make it over there because they don't have that collecting culture that we do.
Stickers are literally meant to stick in an
Hmm.
album. Like it's like if it's a little crease, it's like okay, like it's stuck in the album.
Hmm.
So yeah, and I mean like they don't have top loaders, they don't have penny sleeves, so like things are just gonna get bent, and stickers are super super easy to like mess up just by touching them. So you're like that's why you have to be willing to take risk, and you have to calculate that risk when you're buying things. If you're gonna pay full market price raw for something abroad, you're taking a huge risk, and like I would not recommend that. Like you're gonna probably want to pass on stuff like that unless it's like a super mega rare, like there's only one of them known type thing. But yeah, that was my next point was you got to take a risk, and sometimes it pays off super well, and sometimes you might lose $5 or $10 or something like that. But like you can build up your collection. So let's see. Oh, and that kind of goes to my next point, which is like sometimes you have to buy shit to get gold. Like you kind of got to appease people to be like to lot stuff together. And
Mhm.
sometimes I have piles of garbage that like I'm never gonna look at ever. So
From Brazil?
yeah, like I have this whole stack of like 1959 like stickers of like players that like I don't know any of these players. Like that I don't they're not famous. And I had to buy all of them to get a Pele and Grincha in the same set. Like
Right.
people won't sell you, just the two because they don't want to have to sell these guys that no one wants. So sometimes you have to buy crap to get good stuff, and it just comes down to making good connections, which is my final point. Um, in whichever way you find people in the country you're trying to buy from, you got to make connections. You can't just do a one and done. You gotta work with them. Be fair with them. I think is very important. And yeah, like it's a business partner essentially. If you're trying to get things continually from that country, you gotta keep a good name for yourself, and you gotta be fair, and you gotta make those connections. You gotta ask them how they're doing. Sometimes just talk to them like a normal person instead of it's always like, oh, do you have these stickers? Like sometimes like, hey, how's your family or whatever you want to say. But yeah, it's uh it's
And
important.
how would you say you've had, if you can share, the most success contacting individuals through social media, through buying platforms? What has been the easiest and most efficient, effective way to establish those connections?
So far, it's been a mixture of all three. Honestly, like I wouldn't say one has been particularly better than the other. All three, it just comes down to where you get lucky to meet that person, and you just have to be willing to reach out to people. And for me, obviously, I speak Portuguese, but like if I was trying to buy from an Argentinian seller, like I'll try to go translate stuff and try to speak in their language, and try to make it as calm and like not nerve wracking for them. But yeah, you just have to be willing to reach out, and sometimes people are literally going to just say like no, like I don't want to have to send this much stuff to the USA, like it's too much of a risk, blah blah blah. So I don't know. They're all good. I've had success on all of them.
Yeah. And I can't I haven't bought a lot from abroad. I have from Spain, but it's mostly been through eBay so far. But what I
Yeah,
can contribute is that, going back to how cards are protected, every
yeah,
time I bought from abroad, Europe, it's been, I email the seller first and I'm like, hey, I'm interested in purchasing said card. I
hmm
would just like to know how it's going to get shipped.
hmm
And when they answer, if it's an answer I'm happy with for the money I'm buying the card for, then, no further discussion. I pay and pray for the best. If it's something that, their answer doesn't necessarily uh, make me comfortable in how the card is gonna, or sticker is gonna get shipped, I ask them, hey, can you put it between two cardboards? Can you protect it in a plastic? And I work with the seller in that regard. And so far, knock on wood, so far I've had a lot of success in that. In that every purchase that I've made, it's arrived to the best of the shipping ability.
yeah.
So I haven't had any cards come excessively creased or in a condition that was not already established. So I'm grateful for that. But I think we always talk about communication in this industry, in this hobby, and I think that it's important to, if to just make sure, like, I'm making this purchase, I just want to know how it's going to get shipped. And if it's not going to get shipped how I want it to get shipped, then maybe talk it out and you'll come to a solution. Because we're also sellers, we're collectors, but we also sell stuff. So I rather a somebody that's purchasing what they want to tell me, hey, can you send it so and so that we avoid problems down the road.
No, and I definitely agree. Communication is big, understanding everything, and unfortunately, sometimes with Brazil, I don't get that like luxury.
Mhm.
But when I can have it, yeah, you definitely want to tell them, put it between two pieces of cardboard, whatever, blah blah blah. But sometimes just the luck of the draw. Like some people just want to make the money quickly and move on, and like you know, it's just how it is. And like I said to them, they don't see a lot of them don't understand the difference between a PSA 10 and a PSA 6 because they don't grade stuff there, and like
Mhm.
it's just not part of that collecting culture. So, that's why it's like no matter how hard you try to explain things, sometimes like you just like it goes back to taking that risk. But I agree that you should always communicate. Communication is the biggest thing. Like just assuming they're going to send it in perfect condition, you're probably going to not be happy.
Oh man, thank you, man. I've taken some mental notes for when I start. I also can speak Portuguese, so hopefully I'll take into
Going to
account
take
what
all my
you just
sources.
said. No, no, man, I can't become the Brazilian whisperer. You already occupy that spot.
All right, fair enough.
Well, I think that was a good lesson, a good tip. So I appreciate it. I think that if we're gonna go on to show off our favorite cards, um, on this Flex Friday recording, uh, for those that are listening through any podcast site, you might want to head on over to the YouTube video and see what we got. If
Yep.
not, thank you for listening up to this point. We hope this was informational. We hope that you learned. And as always, comment and send any suggestions or feedback. We
Hmm.
appreciate it. But without further ado, Matt, if you want to show your first card.
My first card. Okay. We'll start with the most recent first. This is one I've shown before, but it's the 2002 Kaká PSA 6. Getting the sticker is fucking hard, man. Like, and that's why it's on my list. Is it's definitely not the most valuable in my collection, but like it's just a rare sticker, and it's one of those ones where it doesn't make sense because it's 2002. Like, how is a sticker that's not that old relatively to a lot of stickers so hard to collect? And to get one in such good condition was difficult as well. So it's one where like when by the time it gets you, you're just like so relieved. And when you see it like for the first time, you're like, oh my god, like it exists. So there's just not many out there. So and the second reason is Kaká is someone I grew up watching as well, and like his time at AC Milan when he destroyed Manchester United in the Champions League. Like I don't know. I just he was a generational talent. Won the Ballon d'Or before Messi and Ronaldo kind of took that over. So that's my first one in the list. So yeah. And I'll let you go. I'll let you show one now.
So thank you for allowing me the space. So like Matt's been saying, it's not necessarily our most valuable cards, but one card that I have on my shelf, which is actually back here. I took them off to show y'all, but this is where I keep my favorite cards. One that I bought, and every time I look back, I just feel a lot of pleasure in having is this Ronaldo Forza, because it's, I think you can see a little bit of the shine there, but it's just, I really just like the card. I like the art behind it.
It's a
At the
very
time,
nice
I purchased it, it was a pop one, and
case hit from Chronicles.
yeah, we're having this discussion where we were talking about how,
Very nice.
and here's the back, we are
Mhm.
talking about how Chronicles is such a complete product, and I don't know if it's because of when it hit the market. It was like right as soccer was starting to take off, or right
Yeah.
when it had taken off, and it that product, personally, I feel like it has just so many cards that are valuable and chased after. It has the Forza, so each league had their case hit. I also collected the Messi, which is, I every time I buy a Ronaldo card, I just feel like I need to get the Messi equivalent. But it had the Fuego Messi. It also has one. The EPO doesn't have like that case hit, right? Not that I can
Not
think of.
that I'm aware of. No.
It has the Titans, but that wasn't the same as this. But
No, I don't think
it
so.
has the cracked ice. It has the rookies. It
Hmm.
has just a crap ton of cards that people really want to have in their collection. So I personally like the case hits, and they're tough to come by. When I spent the Ronaldo, there was only one, and then the Messi I started chasing for a while, so they're not easy to purchase. And yeah, it's a whatever, a 16, 17 year card, whatever year we're in. But again, it just goes back to the card that brings joy every time I
Yeah.
look at it, and to know that it's in my collection
Yep.
is something to be I take pride in.
For sure. I really like Chronicles as well. I went home to Kansas City about 2 months ago,
Oh, this is
and
a good story.
there was a new local card shop, and I went in and they actually had soccer. I was like, wow, the only LCS, the only shop I knew in Kansas that I'd gone to before, like owned zero soccer. When I asked them for soccer, they looked at me like I was batshit crazy. So this LCS, I was like, I'm gonna support them. And then I was looking at the boxes. There's one more Chronicles left. I was like, all right, like I'll do Chronicles. Do you guys mind if I rip it here? Like I don't really have any supplies at home because I'm just visiting my family. Like, yeah, yeah, just sit down. So I opened I don't know, I opened Syria off first because it's usually the one with the least amount of like
Mhm.
potential. And then I opened the Premier League. Nothing like that interesting. I think I got like a Reese James Pitch Kings or something. So then I get to the Spain one. My goal was a Fati cracked ice, obviously,
You mean the
because that
fifty
card's
thousand
ridiculous.
dollar card?
Yeah, pretty much. Or does he have a 101? I don't even know. But or something, or like the historic ticket Messi. Um, but I get to the hit, and it's Barcelona, so I was like, oh fuck me. And I literally said that out loud. The guy's like, what? And then I looked at the name. It's fucking Messi. Out of 10, literally screamed in this place, and the owner was just like, holy shit! Like I need to get a picture of that right now. Like like my biggest soccer collector guy, like passed on this box. I'm texting him right now to tell him that you pulled
Uh,
that. I was like, I feel horrible, but this was very close to making my top five. But yeah, the Messi auto out of 10. I mean, it was just like, and it's definitely not a gradable. Okay, it's gradable, but like it's definitely like a PSA 8, just because Chronicles was kind of
yeah.
packaged horribly. But I mean, I love the way he signs. Like he has like he writes his name too. Um, and yeah, 1 out of 10. I mean, crazy card. So
What would that? What would that have cost in the Tops Now UK or whatever Messi
I think
auto?
1,500 pounds or something.
The lost rookies.
The lost rookies. Oh, we should save that for our next episode. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I
But
mean, it made sense to get. I don't know. The cheapest one was like 300. The auto I'm talking about was like
yeah,
300.
yeah.
That one made sense because you can't get a Messi
Oh, you
auto
can't
for,
get a Messi for that cheap. Yeah,
yeah, you can't get it for less than like $800 now, which is crazy. But well, it's not really crazy, but it is what it is. It was cheaper
yeah,
when you started collecting, but no, man, it's I think that one was a good deal if whoever was able to purchase it.
for sure. So my next card, my favorite player, I talk about it all the time, and I think most people figured he'd be on my list. But Ronaldinho, 1999 PSA 6 as well. And I show this one like every episode just because literally like I just love this sticker. He just looks so like not careless, but like carefree. And that's kind of like that style that he had that I love. That like just would just pull some crazy stuff, like bounce the ball off the back, off his back into his stride, and then nutmeg someone. And so he's someone who I would definitely say is the major person who got me into watching soccer. So to be able to get his rookies is always a joy. And like I said, getting even his like 2001 PSG sticker is still on my list. So yeah, it's number two.
Well, I know you're not selling any, but you got to save one for me, Matt.
I got you. You're one of the few I got, so don't worry about it. I got you.
So I think the next one I'll show is my only Messi rookie. I'm gonna alternate between Ronaldo and Messi because those are the players I've grown up watching most of the time.
Mhm.
So those are the ones that I have tried to collect most. But this is so I bought it in during the peak, and I know this isn't like necessarily everybody's favorite, but I did make a mission to purchase the Catalan versions
Mhm.
of the rookies because I know they're rare in the pod reports.
Yep.
So this was like peak market like exploding. So
Mm.
at the time, I was able to only afford a PSA 8, and I thought it was the only Messi rookie I would be able to afford for the foreseeable future. Of course, people started dumping them in the auction, so now they're around. The good thing is I haven't lost money. The bad news is I thought it was gonna be worth like triple in like a month after I purchased it. So,
yeah.
but again, going back to the good news, now I can make I could try to complete the set, and I do want it to be all Catalan, um, because I think they're just rare, and I look forward to that. But
Mhm.
it was when I got it in hand again. This is like peak soccer market, like exploding. I was like, man, it just made me feel good to see it, like unbox it and be like, all right, I got the goat rookie or one of his rookies out the way. So
Mhm.
I felt like I had accomplished something when it got to me.
For sure. No, I remember buying my first Messi rookie too, and I was like, damn, like I don't know. It's just nice to have one. You know, it's like having a Jordan Fleer if you're a huge basketball fan. Like it's just like that card that is going to be famous forever, and like every collector in soccer is going to forever know that rookie. So
The good thing is that Messi has, he has like the Fleer equivalent, which is already out of my
feelings,
budget
yeah,
for now. But the good thing is that he has like the affordable rookies that come after,
yep,
and now we have the the lost rookie.
the
So
lost rookie. Where there's going to be more 2020 Messi rookies than 2004 Messi rookies.
hey,
So
I respect it more. I still will respect it more than the UK traditions, Messi.
oh, of course, no, and the Messi rookie 2020 whatever throwback, yeah, it's fine to collect. Like if people like
Yeah.
it, like buy it. But it's an interesting concept, and I hope people don't get fooled by it. That's my main thing. So
Yeah, I mean, I've been shitting on it, but and I haven't bought one yet. I might, but in the going back to Chronicles, I like the historic ticket
yeah,
Messi.
I love the historic tickets
So again, it's just joking around, but again, collect what you like, and that's it.
yeah,
Seems like a cool card to me.
definitely. So all right, I'm going to continue the backwards trend in time. So not much farther, just to 1995, where I have the Ronaldo,
Mm.
Mundi Cromo, Copa America. And still got the braces on. You know, obviously super young. I think he was like 18 in this photo, maybe 19. Um, and Ronaldo was obviously like a transcendent player. And I actually had this in an album and took it out myself and still got a PSA 2, which is very lucky because taking things out of albums usually results in an automatic one. So it was just I don't know, and it's the only black back I've ever seen.
Mm.
I got this from an Ecuadorian issue, which I've never heard anyone else even remotely mention Ecuador in terms of soccer stickers. So
Does the slab
um,
say the issue or no?
no, they wouldn't put it on it.
Okay,
They just threw it in the Copa America, but it doesn't matter. It's not ever leaving my collection. It's like
right.
one of those cards. Like all these cards I'm showing are like casket cards, is what I call them. Like either I'm gonna die with my cards and they're gonna go in my casket. Actually, you know what? I'm getting cremated. Doesn't matter. But um, no, I like they're going to a museum, whether it be in Brazil or here. So like people try to say like, oh, you got to sell this for this amount. It's like this. I don't have an end game to make an x amount of money.
Right.
Like I'm never selling that Ronaldo ever. Like you could not, unless you're literally going to offer me like money where I don't have to work again. I am very connect like which is why we're in the hobby, and sometimes it's like I can't believe I even say that, but
Right.
like you get attached to these things, and like I learned taking things out of albums with that sticker. So yeah, it's one that is very important to my like collecting history
Yeah. No, that's and I think that the harder you work for something, the more you value it in that sense. So, yeah, man.
for sure. So all
Yeah.
right, let's see yours.
All right, so my next one is what I picked up in the recent PWCC, which we talked about, but so this was
Mm,
the card, but
very
it's a
nice.
9. But I really enjoy it because it's like one of those cards where I think the only other card that has Messi and Ronaldo on the card is that Tops Now where they're at the award ceremony. And I the reason why I started pursuing this card is for that same reason. You have the two goats, my two favorite players on the same
Hmm.
card, and then going back to the cheaper version is a base, but I've quickly learned in this market and just for my personal collecting that I want something that's a little bit rare.
Yep.
So that's why I went with one of the parallels. But I really, again, it's one of those cards, and all these cards, I'll say the same thing, but every time I look back, I'm like, dang, that looks nice up there, and
Yep.
it's gratifying.
Yeah, that's like you said, that's it makes it so much better when it hits the spot and there's a specific reason you wanted it. Um, and I do want to point out that a lot of stickers that would most likely be on my top 5 are currently sitting at PSA. For example, I had a 1976 Seiko grade, a PSA 5, which is by far the highest in the pop report. Pop 3 for that sticker, pop 5 highest, or PSA 5 is highest.
Mhm.
There's a 1 and a 2 and a 5. So that would definitely be on my list. So as a result, I'm going to replace it with another Zico because I always talk about him as one of my favorite to collect. And I think I've shown this before, but it's the Fuchibol de Oro.
Mhm.
I I've never seen this sticker. I bought this. I've never seen it in Brazil. Like it's very rare. I've seen another player from this set, but I've never seen another Zico. I bought this on eBay from El Rey, who is Al. Many people know him as.
We got to bring on the show one of these
Oh
days.
yeah, I gotta talk to him. Maybe send him a message, see if he can come on. I haven't talked to him in a long time, so we did a video back in the day before I even thought about having to be part or being part of a podcast. But I just interviewed him just because I was so interested in how the hell he collects stuff. So yeah, maybe I can reach out to him again and see if he can come on. But I know he likes to get the message out about stickers. So yeah, Zico, one of the best players of all time, 1977 sticker. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
And we're running out of time here, so I'm gonna show my last two. And again, like my list is much longer, but so I have my two, the two greatest players, Ronaldo, oh
bruh,
hey, Pele.
bruh.
But I have,
I didn't know you had this.
yeah, so I have Ronaldo's first World Cup, and I haven't bought the 2010 because I have two 2010 boxes. So I feel like they're in there. I'm gonna not make a big purchase because I feel like I had the card. I just it's in a box right now, and I don't know if I'm gonna open or whatever. But
We'll chat a little bit.
but I really like the 2010s, man. I mean,
Yeah,
I like this one
2010
too.
is nice.
I'm still working on the Messi. I'm still working on the Messi, but I got the Ronaldo out the way. And then um this was, it's a PSA one because of the corners, but the
Hmm.
I don't know if you can like the picture's intact.
Yeah, no, it's you
The
can see it
but
all.
you can see the corners are like kind of worn out. But the back
Let's see the.
the back is
Uh,
also pretty intact.
how did we get a PSA one though with just corners? Hmm.
I don't know, but look, I'll try to.
Yeah, I don't see any paper loss. You might need to regrade. You might need to send that in because that doesn't make
It
sense.
was tough, and I've examined. There's like a small crease in the corner, in this corner,
The
which
creases, creases do not equal a
is
one.
there
Like a
kind
one is like paper loss or like a
of.
rip or something. So
But the picture is intact, and again, it says it's the Black Pearl
mm,
Pele. But I love it because he's young. He's in the
mm,
Santos uniform.
yep,
It's one of the earlier cards that you get that isn't his rookie.
yep,
Um, but yeah, I got this from a seller in Canada again right before the market, like the vintage market, exploded, and now I've
yeah.
seen a few go up in auction, and I'm happy that even though it's a PSA one, I'm happy to have that one out the way.
Very nice. So okay, well, you spoke up the guy who was number one on my list in my last card. Obviously, had to go with Pele. So, my favorite card by far in my collection
Mhm.
is the rookie 1958 record journal, which is a hand cut out of a magazine, um, autographed by Pele himself, verified by PSA. I mean, just I think a lot of people have like opinions on if that's weird or not. And for me, like just such an old rookie with the best player to ever play. I mean, that's just like when I remember seeing this on auction, and I was like, "There's no way I lose this card." Like, I'm gonna put everything I can like spend right now into this. And I mean, like it's yeah, I love it. Like it's crazy. Like to think that Pele literally like held this in his hand, signed it, and then someone got it uh, like someone already. I don't know if they would have already had it cut or not. Probably because it's perfectly on. But anyway, but like I don't know. It's just a super cool card. One of those cards that like he has maybe I think like 8 signed rookies, and one guy owns most of them. But it's just one of those things where like it almost never comes up, and like there's just so much history in it uh, that I was like, I gotta grab this. So
I remember that auction. I remember the controversy of somebody saying like, "Oh, I would rather it without the auto."
yeah,
This
so it kind of lit some fire under my ass. Someone in the Discord, like the Discord that we use sometimes, is like, hey, like I would love to wipe that auto off and just have like just the sticker. And I was like, what? Like what? Like this is literally the best player of all time. Sign this fucking sticker. Like bet your ass I'm gonna get it and make sure no one ever touches the autograph. I mean, not that you could. Like it's literally bleeds through on the back because it's like a sharpie or something. But
yeah.
um, yeah, no, I mean, it's just like so much history in that sticker, and to have it signed on a rookie, like to me, is just so cool. So, and
Yeah,
that's why
well,
it's number one.
his autograph is already expensive, so to have it on a rookie, it's,
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's a great accomplishment.
for
So,
sure.
it goes with the Brazilian Whisperer title
Yeah,
because your
it
Brazilian
does.
connection.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I don't love my favorite Pele rookies are the ones issued in Brazil. Like even I prefer those over the Alpha and the Record Journal. But any Pele rookie, I'm never gonna say no to. So yeah, and it's I really love that piece. So
Alright, Matt. Well, thank you for sharing, man.
yeah, and thank you as well. I enjoyed. I actually really need to pick up some of those 2006 World Cup cards. Like I don't know why I haven't yet, and that one you showed, I'm like, damn, that's really nice. So
Well, you're focused on I think a much more complex collection. I think you get these 206 cards. They come up so often. It just depends on how much you want to spend for them. And I've been every time one comes up, I just watch it to see where it lands. And this one, I was
yeah,
able to get. It was on auction, and I was able to kind of snag it at the right price. But um, I think they're just a little bit more common. So those are cars
yeah.
that you can put on the back burner and just wait to see what comes up.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, people are not many more boxes are going to get ripped, but there are still boxes that do exist. But Paley rookies do too. Obviously, there's not many, but I saw someone the other day cut out one of the Record Journal rookies, so they are still out there. They're coming out randomly. So yeah, and I'm going to quickly talk through the PWCC because we did promise to talk about that, and we've already gone over it. We do this every time. We
I
get
think
so into
all
what
right,
we're talking
let's
about.
let's do a 2 minute drill because I'm not gonna talk about it because I haven't researched it enough. So 2 minute
Okay.
drill. You're on the clock,
I just want
man.
to say I apologize because we get super into what we're talking about because we're super passionate about it, and then we end up recording way too long. So thank you for sticking with us if you've made it this far. So quickly, 2 minute drill. There's four cards that I found interesting on PWCC. Not bidding on anything. I'm actually selling a few cards, so I have no interest in any of these. And I definitely do. I'm not the one selling any of these because they're crazy cards. Pele Alpha 6 already at 28 grand. I'm expecting 50 grand plus on that. 1968 Cruyff Palarex. BBG3 is already at 1.6 K. Obviously, I mean, that's a huge one. Cruyff is one of the best. His rookies are, I really like the way his rookies look. 1978 Crack Maradona. PSA 1 already at 800. And I was expect things to double in the last like minute of PWCC, so we'll see where that goes. Maybe 2 grand even, which would be insane. I think that would set a record. But the last one is the 2003 CR7 Mega Cracks PSA 10, which is already at 40.3K, which is an insane amount of money. We know the Messi PSA 10 went for 116 grand, so it's nice to see the CR7s picking up some steam, and maybe it'll get like closer this time to the Messi PSA 10.
Yeah, that would be my girl card. To be honest, that'd be the
Oh,
card.
it's
After it's right now, my girl would be right now the girl that I could afford would be the Manchester United second year cards
oh
for right
yeah.
now, but that would be the card to have for me. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I have the flashback menu, which is numbered out of 500. I love I sold most of my CR7 stuff because I wanted to keep the numbered one, just because I think it'll hold value really well, and like I think it just looks nice. But anyway, I agree. Like I would love a 2003 Mega Cracks Ronaldo. I missed the boat so hard. Like I got a Messi Mega Cracks PSA 4. It looks amazing, but it's PSA 4. Um, and I really wish I picked up a CR7. So maybe one day, maybe I'll trade for
One
one.
day, man. One day. But what people can pick up is that Romario giveaway sticker.
True.
So we've that was a good 2 minute drill. I'll compliment you on that. And um, if you've been listening, don't forget about the giveaway. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers on YouTube, and we want you to comment on the video with any type of feedback, positive, negative comments. If you want to interact, have a discussion, we can have it on YouTube as well.
Yep.
So please, please, please share, subscribe, comment, and tell everybody about this podcast if you've enjoyed it so far.
It's been fun, man. Thanks
It's been
everyone
fun,
listening.
man. Yeah, thank y'all. Adios.
Ciao.